Thing. When you write a textbook where you've got a lesson like that, the first thing you describe is what happens when there aren't markets. And the same would be true in a parenting situation. And so whenever you've got the quintessential example is getting children to share toys. This is especially the case if a child comes over from another family into your home for a play date. Okay? You want your child to share their toys. Now, children are onto this right away. One of the first words they learn is mine, and so they assert their property rights over all toys. And so how do you get this exchange? How do you get something going? The problem is, here you don't have a market. If the other child came in with toys or money or something else valuable, you'd be able to have sharing, you'd be able to have exchange, but of course they come with nothing. So it's very, very difficult to get a market to work in that environment. And so you have to come up with non-market rules such as taking turns and things like that. But if you actually had the money and a market available in this sort of situation, we wouldn't have this issue at all. So markets are usually a good way to organise activity, economic activity, because they facilitate trade. Governments can, of course, sometimes improve on market outcomes. Markets do not do everything. Sometimes they do not do things well at all. The government can step in and impose rules that help. One of the examples of this is when a particular market activity leads to effects on other people that are unpriced. It's called an externality. And I can think of no greater externality than that is foisted on parents by other parents inviting their children to their birthday party. I often say that basically the biggest cost of increasing class size in schools is the sheer volume of birthday parties we're forced to attend on a weekly basis. You think about it, 26 kids in a school, that's one every 2 weeks. Have more children, that's weekly, daily, who knows what. The problem is, it's just a market. People are just inviting everybody. They don't care. When I have my child's birthday, I want everybody to come and I want the parents to come and supervise. But it's all unpriced and there's this cost imposed on you. You need the government to step in, and by this I'm meaning the federal government of Australia, and to actually limit the number of parties that are occurring. I've tried myself to inaugurate, maybe even a quarterly or a semester basis children's birthday day where all the kids have their party on the one day for their birthdays and we just have to attend those, but to no avail. So I think this is going to require government action to stop the harm the parents are doing to each other as a result of these desires to have parties. Okay, so governments can sometimes improve market outcomes. Now this is where it gets a little bit harder. A country's standard of living depends on its ability to produce goods and services. What this is talking about is that we look around the world and we see different countries where people have different material levels of wealth and all the way down to basic needs as well. How do I stretch this into a parenting analogy, you might ask? Weakly. But when you visit different parents' houses, you notice that some parents seem to be in complete and utter disarray. Everything's chaos, children running around, they never leave the house. While there's another class of parents who seem to do that. They go on activities, they seem to organise themselves, they manage to go to work, they get sleep, all those sorts of things. What is the difference between those houses? And the difference is their ability to produce goods and services. In this case, parenting and other household chores. There's two ways by which you increase your ability as a household to produce goods and services. The first is by being able to engage and bring resources into the house. There's nothing better than the aunt or family member who is willing to come in and help out. That's one of the reasons for the differences in these households, I suspect. The second is, of course, how you use the resources you have at your disposal, which is a level of organisation. It's how you organise your lives, which is different for different people. But the answer is, sometimes technology can really help here. One of the things we cottoned onto that horrifies people is that we schedule everything and require any scheduled item to be put onto Google Calendar, which is on the web. I can put entry it at home, work, from a phone, anywhere. And everything's there, and you can come and you can see this calendar, and it's color-coded for all the 5 people in the household as to where they should be at any given moment. Technology allows that level of organisation, and that allows us to be able to basically manage the household and to be closer to one of these households that seems to get something done as opposed to the ones that are in chaos. And I think there's like a duty to do so. I mean, it's incredible to me that we haven't lost a child, that we haven't forgotten where they are, given who is picking up and who is dropping off and where they are and what have you. I mean, you wouldn't like to go to the police saying, well, the last time I saw her was at so-and-so's birthday party. Well, why don't you just go there? Well, she had the invitation with her and the other parent was supposed to pick it up, but then we missed that because they were at Taekwondo. You know, that would be very embarrassing. So I think you basically need to basically technology can help this organisation function of households and increase their standard of living. Lesson number 9.